Do you know what it is, guys? You know, you've had just a long day. One of them days where your mind just feels like it's been put into a pretzel and things have just happened and things have just happened. It's been one continuous process of just reaction and reaction, and you've not really been mindful in any of it. And you've been out the full day. You've had to work a full day and then I've had college after work from 5 till 9, and it's currently now 20 past 10, well, 22:10, sorry. And this is like the first time I've really sat down. And then I'm like, I've got to record a video. And you know, it's just one thing after another, and one thing after another, and one thing after another, and your brain just feels like mush. There's not really much going on there. It's kind of how I feel now. So I hope this video doesn't just go on and on and on. I understand the quality's not very good. It's night time. Haven't got very good lighting. I've had to turn on 2 lamps. Kind of giving like serial killer vibes right now with like the aesthetic. So I hope it's not off-putting for anyone. And you maybe just follow the train of thought where it goes, because I don't really know what I'm going to talk about either, to be honest. When you feel like this, when you feel like life just is continuous and it's just coming at you and coming at you and you get no respite, it's so easy to then like not give in, but just stop trying to fight it. Like, stop trying to change it and just think, oh, I'm just going to go with it and I'm just going to like get lost in it. And then you just get lost and lost, and then eventually you hit a breaking point where like something drastic needs to happen, or you feel like you need to shut yourself away from the world, or like it builds up in an emotional outburst or something. And I can see how it's happened to me time and time again when I get lost in the emotion that I'm in, or the emotional state, and I don't try and break it with moments of mindfulness or looking after myself or keeping myself grounded. I then retaliate in the opposite way of where my life's going. Like, say if I'm being like lazy all the time and I'm stuck in a depressive rut, I then seem to like retaliate and then go to the polar opposite end, where I'm like trying to go to the gym 10 times a week, and I'm trying to like eat super clean, and I'm trying to wake up early, and then I end up just oscillating between the two and get stuck in this like pendulum swinging from one side to the other. It's like one extreme to the other, when it would probably just be better to notice that when like at the minute I'm very much just work, get home, relationship, and stuff like that. The things that you give your energy to, I'm very much just stuck in the things that I'm giving my energy to, and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of time for me to be able to like self-reflect or to look inwards. And what will happen is, and I've seen this happen time and time again with me, is if I don't respect the fact that I need time on my own, if I don't respect the fact that I need time to self-reflect and like read my philosophy books and my psychology books, and to go a bit inwards and do a bit of meditation and to maybe go on a couple of walks, then I'll end up just calling in sick at work for like a week when I don't need to, when I need the money, and then I'll just sit there and like try and read 15 books in like 5 days, and then I go to the extreme, and then I try and meditate for 2 hours a day, and then it becomes this level of extremes, which I think if you think of any sort of healthy integration of anything, it's always a balance. There's always something there things are sustainable. You want that sustainability in your life, and I suppose now that's something, as I get a bit older and more responsibilities occur, I've got to try and find is a way to balance all the aspects of life. And to be able to like go with life, like the responsibilities that come there, they're kind of the good things that happen. You take them as an honor. It's like, wow, life gives me something to carry and to like put forward with me, and it gives you meaning. Responsibility equates to meaning, and I love the fact that life gives you more responsibility as you get older, because I think you're more well equipped and you're more able to adapt to it all. But you've also got to make sure that you do find time for yourself, and you find time to slow down and find a balance, because balance is key. And the balance looks different for everyone. The idea of balance is some people think it's about just being moderate in everything and doing things in moderation. I don't think that's necessarily the case. There's that really interesting quote, do everything in moderation, even moderation. And so your balance is going to be different to what mine is, and my balance is going to be different to what the person next to me is. So you've got to essentially find out what your balance is and where the rhythm and the flow of your life at this epoch in this period of your life is, and what does that look like in terms of what are my daily routines, where do I put my energy, when do I find time for myself, when do I use time for my relationship and my family. And like, you've got to try and flow with it naturally, not try and fight against it all and try to like force a balance, because the moment you try and force a balance, you're out of the harmony. There's like a harmony that happens between you and the world out there, and to effortlessly be in that and kind of just like sway with it is how you find the balance. And a lot of people stress themselves out trying to manage loads of things, but once you get into the rhythm of the period of your life that you're in, and you stop oscillating between the extremes, you find that you naturally come to a place of like self-sustainment and balance. And then life inevitably throws something in there to kind of chuck you off course, and then you have to probably oscillate between the extremes again to find that balance. And then it does feel like anytime you do find a bit of peace and you find a bit of like clarity and a bit of purpose, something else happens to kind of throw you off course, or change happens. Your understanding of yourself happens on a deeper level, and then you're again trying to get back to the balance. There's a concept in Taoism called Wu Wei, which means like effortless action. And like, how do you achieve that? Like, I really love the idea of it. I love the whole idea of Taoism, the philosophy of being in the Tao and just following the way and being intuitive and kind of just flowing with the moment and not having to think about things too much. But it's like, how does one live like that? How does one figure that out? And for someone my age, I'm 26 years old. I've not lived much of the world. I mean, for a 26-year-old, I've done a fair bit. But I mean, in terms of like, I've not lived loads of time. I've not like been through the family and like all the stuff. I've got loads of things to experience yet. So how do I live in a concept of Wu Wei when I don't know, when I'm a stress response into everything, and I'm still trying to figure things out? It's tricky. I think a lot of it is just putting like thought behind you and kind of just like getting lost a little bit in your own life. And this is the thing I've been dealing with at the minute, is the last like year and a half of 2 years since I've been, I started working with a Jungian analysis. He made his main concept of our like therapy was to like learn to lean into my life more, to engage with the stuff that was presenting itself to me, like work, for example, and just being more present in my work and showing up to my work and bringing more of myself to that, my relationship, the finances, and not being lost so much in where I want to be and philosophical understanding of things and like projections and ideals of where I want to be, not getting lost in that, but being in the moment and being in your body and just living your life. And since I've done that, I've noticed that I feel like I'm forgetting more of the days, but I feel like I'm there. I'm bringing more of myself to them. I'm not questioning things as much, and with that, there feels like a lack of mindfulness, a lack of like, I'm not fully aware of the things, but at the same time, I'm experiencing more of the day. So it's like very paradoxical. And so I do wonder sometimes, am I doing Wu Wei? Am I just kind of like acting? Because I feel a lot more comfortable being myself in my life, which is good. It's not a feeling that I had for a lot of my youth. And to get to the point where I'm 26 years old and I feel like I'm arriving where I am more. And I really like that sense of, instead of like being here, it's like you arrive, you kind of like meet the moment, instead of just being in the moment. Because I think you have to come and like make sure you arrive to where you are so you can be there and be who you are to the full extent. And that arriving is a really interesting concept. And so, yeah, I think it's just a process of just turning up in your life every day and just making sure that to the best of your ability, you're aware and you're conscious and you're being yourself to as much as you can. And obviously the self concept is maybe infinite. So like, how do you explore your sense of self? How do you know thyself? Maybe that is impossible. But you got to sure damn try. You have got to work towards it, because if not, you live a life of scattiness and neurosis and uncertainty, and I don't want to live a life of that. But I think that's my video today, guys. It's currently coming up to 10 o'clock. Tired. I think it's time for bed. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow 6 a.m. do a bit of reading. Then I'm gonna go and play pool tomorrow afternoon after work, which will be nice. I'm not a very good player, but yeah, I do enjoy it. So thank you very much for listening, people. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for the poor video quality, and I'll see you all in the next video.